Alright, so in this video we're checking out the TrustFire TC50 camping light. So it's a flashlight and also camping light, so it's got the flashlight elements on this side here, very bright, 5100 lumens max, and then it's got the camping light function on the underside. And it does allow you to set the light on a table, for example, like this, and then the light will shine down. I'll show you that here in a second. And it has like a little bit of a flare here, so you can actually lay flat on a table or some sort of flat surface. It does have a tripod mount here, so you can put it on a tripod if you want to elevate it and shed light on some other part of the ground. The material this is made out of is 6061 anodized aluminum. Very good quality, very high quality here. It just feels very solid in the hand. Just feels overall, it doesn't feel very cheap. It just feels really nice overall. And it's got this sort of lip here in the front for the lights, or for the front flashlight. It's not sharp, but it just has sort of a little bit of a pattern there. Single button operation. And then you have a switch here between the off position, the camping light, which is on the bottom, and then the flashlight, which is on top. And it feels good in the hand. So it's I would say typical flashlight size. It does run off of a 21700 battery, so you just unscrew this and this will pop out. And here is the battery. It just come with a 21700 cell, 5000 milliamp hours. It is a TrustFire branded, and there is a little O-ring there, a rubber O-ring for the waterproof seal. It's like an IPX6 waterproof rated. Another thing to note is that the tail is magnetic as well, and it's a pretty strong magnet. You can actually put it on its side and it will stick to a wall, like a metal wall, for example. Over here is the flap for the USB-C cable for charging, and you want to make sure that's closed so it's waterproof. The rest of the stuff that comes in the box, you get your manual, get a USB-C to USB-A cable for charging, and then you get a spare O-ring for the battery cover. So there's a bunch of modes in this. We're just going to go through them in the manual one by one. So there's a red light mode and a blue light mode, and we'll flip this over here. Stick it into this here, and this is the camping light. So turn this on, turns on the camping light. And I think they call this the warm light over here. So there's basically different levels or functions. So there's a moonlight level, which is what you see here, very dim, 1.5 lumens, and you have a low light level there. It's 10 lumens. And to get to the next level, you just press the button once or short press it. So that's 10 lumens. You have a medium, that's 35 lumens. So press the button again. High is at 250 lumens. And then you have extreme bright at 1000 lumens. Wow, that is really bright. I'll even put this way off of camera. You can see how bright it is over here. So the higher it is, you get more illumination. You can almost use that as a flashlight just on that level, but it's going to drain the battery pretty quick. Press the button again and it goes back down to the moonlight level there, as you can see. And then here are the corresponding run times. So the lowest moonlight's going to go 600 hours, and then a short time of 230 minutes at the maximum brightness. And here is the beam reach of each of these, up to 38 meters. To go into the next mode, which is red light, you should long press the button. So you have a red light there. And so you only have two levels here. You have moonlight, which is 0.1 lumens, and high, which is 85 lumens. So short press the button, 85 lumens, and then you have a slow flashing, a fast flashing, and an SOS mode. So just short press the button to get into those. You have a slow flashing, fast flashing, and SOS, and then press it again, it goes back to moonlight. Long press again to go into the blue light mode. And basically you have the same functions again. Interestingly, the red light goes to a high of 85 lumens, whereas the blue light goes to a high of 70 lumens, so something to be aware of. You have your slow flashing, fast flashing, and SOS modes. kind of interesting that the lumen level is higher on the red light, but the runtime, 320 minutes there, is longer than on the blue light, which is only 70 lumens and the shorter runtime. So I guess it kind of shows that the blue light LEDs take up quite a bit more energy. Now you have two modes on the flashlight side, the floodlight and the spotlight. So the floodlight is going to be a wider beam and the spotlight is going to be a narrower beam. The floodlight is going to be a lot brighter on the extreme side, up to 5100 lumens, but the spotlight only goes up to 1000 lumens. There's only 3 modes on the spotlight. So basically, we'll just turn this to the flashlight mode, which is the top here. It's off. So you have basically these here. I think this is the floodlight, and then the center is going to be your spotlight. So you can see it's pretty low. I believe we're in moonlight mode at 3 lumens, and if you short press the button, it should go to the next mode. That's low. It's about 30 lumens. You have medium, 300 lumens. High at 1200 lumens. This is the extreme bright at 5100 lumens. And then go back down to the moonlight mode. I think to go to the spotlight mode, you just long press the button. And now we have the spotlight. And in here we have 3 levels. So we have, you can see it's a much narrower beam. Low is at 80 lumens. Medium, 300 lumens. High at 1000 lumens. And then back down to low. And you can see that the run times there for the spotlight, 180 minutes there at high. And then the floodlight, it's 110 minutes at the extreme bright level. So obviously it's taking quite a bit more energy. If you want both of them on at the same time, long press again. So now we have both. And it has memory, so let's see. I think there's only 3 levels. Yeah, so it's low, medium, and high for both of them on. So if you want both the spotlight and the floodlight, you can see the spotlight is on as well as the floodlight. Get all those modes there, and then you can long press the button again to turn it off, or to go back to the floodlight mode. And it does have memory, so if you say we go into the next mode here, it's at this brightness level, I think that's medium, and you turn this off. When you come back, it should remember whatever mode you were in last. Got a green light here on the button. When you first turn things on, that gives you an indication of the battery level. And basically green means you have 80 to 100% power. It goes yellow, you're at 30 to 80%. When it's red, you're between 5 and 30%. When it's flashing red, you're less than 5%, and you're going to be running out pretty soon, so you probably want to charge pretty soon. Okay, so go ahead and take this outside at the dark and see how well this performs. All right, so doing some nighttime shooting here. Got the flashlight on the lowest level. And this is the floodlight mode. Next level, another one. So we'll get away from the street light there. And next one. And one more. And I think this is the max. Nope, that's the lowest. So that's the lowest moonlight. Doesn't do much. Over here at this wall. That's the next level. 2, 3, 4. That's the max. That's 5100 lumens. Floodlight mode. Lights up these trees really nice right here. And back down. Go to the next. Go to the spotlight mode. And you can see the spotlight here. A car coming. So it's a very focused beam. This is, I'm not sure what level this is. Let's see here. I think this is the lowest level. Level 2. Focus on that tree over here. Level 3. Yeah, so just 3. I think there's just 3 levels. There's level 1, level 2, level 3. Again, this is a very focused beam, very bright. 1,000 lumens, I believe, on the max level here. That's a pretty focused circle. So if you want to look at something specific, you can do that. All right, let's go to the combined mode. So now we're in both. They're both on. Oh, I think we're at the lowest level here. And I think there's only 3 levels here. Yeah, only 3 levels. 2nd level, 3rd level. So with the floodlight and the spotlight on, noticing there's not that much for the floodlight to show. It's mostly just spotlight. It's definitely there. Let's go back to the floodlight mode. The floodlight is very apparent. The spotlight mode, and then the combined mode. Spotlight's a little bit dimmer. Floodlight turns on, but honestly, you don't see that much. Yeah, I'd rather just stick with floodlight mode instead of this combined mode. Yeah, so back to the floodlight mode. Yeah, it definitely looks way more impressive if you're looking as a flashlight. Yeah, it's pretty bright. It actually lights up pretty much everything. I kind of like that. All right, so there's the camping light, lowest level. There's the next lowest level. And brighter, quite a bit brighter. Really bright. And back down. So let's set this over here. That's the brightest level, and that is lighting up my front door. Super nice. All right, so I got this attached magnetically to my garage door rail. Let's just see, show you how bright that is. And I'll just turn this off. Yeah, much really super bright. And you can see that it just hangs off. It's the magnet strong enough to just hang off the side there. It's actually kind of hard to pull off. It's a very strong magnet. Anyway, that'll do it for this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, let me know in the comment section below. Put a link in the description if you guys want to check it out. Talk to you guys in the next one.